This happens to be an important match for Spain, and this happens to be the first match that Cape Verde will play in their life in World Cup. And this match seems to be an important match for both team, but already we have our clear winner in this match, unless the uncertainty in sport occurred. Because naturally, the match that I noticed that happens to be the shocker ever since I've been watching this 2026 World Cup happens to be the match between Australia and Turkey. That has only been the match that came out with surprise. Now, in this particular match, the current form that Spain has, they are actually arriving as defending Euro 2024 champions, carrying an immense pedigree and tournament momentum. Cape Verde enters as a dangerous debutant, having proven their resilience in recent AFCON tournaments as a highly organized counter-attacking unit. Do you think we are going to experience maybe frustration for the favorite team or surprise in this particular match? Let us actually look into the stats that we actually generated using our predictive model. Don't forget to drop your own correct score in the comment section. In case if you are just joining us for the first time, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like our video, drop your comment, and for the prompt that we used for generating most of this data, because sometimes when you are using manual strategy to pick your games, you may be missing some facts or information about the games that you want to analyze. So this prompt, we have different section on it. The section that we checked earlier happens to be the overview, the importance of the match, the current form, the venue of the match, just the overview of what we are expecting in this match. Now, the recent form section, this talks about their last 10 matches against other opponents, and if we are to look into it, the overall record for Spain, we are looking at 8 win, 2 draws, 0 loss, and we have some little factors that we can look into. Clean sheet 6 in the last 10 games, and the trends that we have here is highly consistent. They constantly dictate the tempo, outpass opponents, and rarely concede high quality chances due to their elite pricing. Now, if you are to look into Cape Verde last 10 games, if you are to look into their data, they've lost just 2 out of their last 10 games. They've won 5 and they draw 3. Now, goal scored, they had 1.2 per game average, and goal considered, they concede 0.9. And it shows that these two teams, they happens to be teams that are very good when it comes to defense, because anytime you look at a team and they have maybe 0 points or less goals considered, just know that those teams, their defense is very solid. Now, proceeding, leaving this section, let us check the head to head analysis. In their last 10 meeting, they've never met before. So this is the first ever international meeting between the two nations. So we can actually experience surprise in this particular match, because what I want to predict this particular match, I'm not really expecting so many goals from it, but the fact that they've never met before, that is where the problem comes in. But before we go into total goals, we are going to check the statistic projection, and that is where we are going to look into the stats and predict our stats. So don't forget, as I said earlier, that you should drop your correct score in the comment section, and let's see how good you are when it comes to using data to predict games, and probably maybe you will have the chance to win our predictive model prompt. And in case you want to get our prompt as an ebook, you can reach out through our private class. But if you get your correct score right, you will have the chance to win this particular prompt without any purchase. Now, moving on to another section, that is the missing player impact. This one depends on if you know how to use this, and actually it works, because this information on the missing player impact always add additional advantage to our analysis. Now we have the frustration factor. If you are to look at low conversion rate for Spain, Spain is notorious for dominating possession metrics, but occasionally struggling to break down resolute low blocks. A high volume of sterile passes around the perimeter without finding a breakthrough could lead to psychological frustration and forcing shots from low expected goals area. So it shows that we can actually expect so many goals in this particular match. That is if they are unable to break the defense of the away team. But if they are, you will get few shots and so many goals. So let us see what will actually happen here. So for Cape Verde, the psychological weight of the World Cup debut against the reigning European champions cannot be understated. Early nerves could lead to forced errors in their defensive third. So there is high probability that this particular away team will concede early. So that is another fact that we can also look into. So and when we are talking about fatigue for Cape Verde, chasing the ball against a team that holds 70% possession in physical is physical draining, is physically draining. The final 20 minutes could see gaps emerged in Cape Verde's defensive shape. There is high probability that it is not this. Yes, let me just say high probability because surely Spain are expected to win the possession of this particular game. They will possess them like mad. Sorry. So they will possess them. If there is any market option that offers maybe possession, yes, there is, but I'm very sure the bookies will not provide it. They would have locked that particular market option of team to win the possession of this particular match because it is very clear, very obvious. It is just like giving free money. So that is that, and that alone can that from that the fact that I derived from that is that there is a high probability that if the away team decided to block their net to defend their keeper for a very long time, there is a high probability that Spain will keep winning possession, but unfortunately may find it hard to get the back of the net. But let's see, with that, maybe probably penalty can occur and so many things like that. All right, so let us look into the advanced statistics projection. All right, so here we have the expected goal, which is 2.45, and for Cape Verde we have 0.55. Okay, it will be a miracle if Cape Verde score just one goal. So there is probability that the away team can score just one goal, just like the match against I don't know, I think Curacao, Germany played against Curacao yesterday and they played 7-1, just like that. There is probability that Cape Verde can get the chance of scoring just one goal, but it will be very hard for them. And but for Spain, the least goal that we are expecting from them is two or one. At least Spain will surely score in today's match. And if you have to look at the possession, this is very clear and obvious. And looking at the total shot, the prediction under the total shot is actually over 18.5 total shots. Anything above this, don't go for it because there is high chance that Spain will dominate with possession, and there is high chance that they will. It is not even just chance. It is what we should be expecting. Spain will have more shots than Cape Verde, but the shots may not be many due to the fact that Cape Verde will be busy defending their box, and Spain enjoys possession games like that. So but the prediction on this aspect is actually over 18.5 total shots. Now moving forward to total foul, if we are to look into this, the expected total foul to we should be looking at in this particular match is actually under 28.5 total foul. When two teams are even and when they are based on physicality, you should be expecting more fouls like that. But when the team is defending their box, they will try to be very careful in that particular area. And I don't think there will be a chance for Cape Verde to engage or defend within the midfield of that particular match. So most of their players were busy defending their box. So this gives us an insight that we should not be expecting more than 28.5 total fouls in this particular match. Now proceeding to the final prediction of this particular match, and probably if you want to read the probability assessment of this match of who to win, you can actually read through because ever since I've been looking at it, another market option apart from total shot, because I dropped a video on the best options that you can actually look into if you want to predict World Cup. Number one of it is total shots. that particular market option is coming out so well. So you can actually use this particular uh, advanced statistics projection to guide yourself on how to predict total shots. It is very simple. Whenever you see something that is very high, maybe a total shot that is very high, just note that you are expecting so many total shots in that match. But when you are seeing something that is very low, maybe below 25 or close to 20, then you should know that you should not be expecting so many shots in that particular match. So for this, for example, in this match, I know that the home team will dominate with shots, but the shots will be so many if they are frustrated, you know, if they are unable to score early. And I'm very sure Spain that you are looking at, they really need to score, they really need this particular match. They need to win in order to reduce the pressure in later games. So that is the fact behind the prediction as over 18.5 total shots. Now, looking into the probability assessment, that happens to be another market options that I observed. Most of the teams that I've ever seen that have been seen with this probability assessment, most times, if you observe very well, check most of the previous games played, any teams that has maybe something around very close to 70, maybe 68, 69, 70% probability of winning, the worst they can experience is draw. Yes, the worst is the match to end up in a draw. But however, football prediction has this kind of uncertainty, that is, sometimes it is unpredictable. Cape Verde can actually surprise Spain with a counter attack, but we are not expecting that. But it can actually happen that Spain will lose this match with 1 goals to nothing. It is possible. All right, so let us leave there and proceed to our final prediction, which is predicting the total goals to be expected in this match. So, according to the scoreline, Cape Verde, they are not expected to score at all. The first one that we have as the most likely score is 2-0, and we have alternative scoreline as 3-0, and we also have alternative scoreline as 1-0. But the normal scoreline is 2-0, and if Spain, if they are able to find the rhythm very well, they should be scoring up to like 3 goals. But if Cape Verde decided to make it very hard for them to penetrate, but they will surely have a goal. All right, so but my prediction in this particular section is under 5.5. There is a high chance that Spain will score so many goals. They should score penalty because I'm expecting that penalty. I'm expecting that, and there is another probability that they will not be able to reach even more than 3 goals. So there are two probability like that. Depends on the style that the Cape Verde use to defend their keeper. But the best option that I'm seeing here is under 5.5, and I believe there will be more value attached to that. All right. So in case you have any question regarding to this particular um prompt or the model we use for predicting, you can actually join our private class. And also, yesterday, some of our audience dropped their own correct score prediction in the comment section, and I think just 2 people got it right. I don't know, maybe probably the match have started before this man actually predicted his own, but at least when I checked, when I did the back testing of the time, I noticed that at least if the match has started, maybe probably they were still in first half. So at least for him to predict 2-2 in first half, he really tried. And the second man that I also got it, this one, it is very clear that he actually got it right because I think he predicted it an hour before the match started. That is Olawet. Olaworth. So that is a 2-2. That is the match between Netherlands and Japan. So the match eventually came out as straight draw, and just 2 people got it right. All right, so drop your own correct score for this particular match between Spain and Cape Verde. See you guys in the next edition. Bye bye.